Me and Lovey is real close. Like, we talk every day, all day. Like, he teaches me stuff during football and outside of football with my family. So I just listen to him, just read my keys, and just play as hard as I can. Because if you play hard for Lovey, then he's going to do a lot for you. So that's the goal with me.
So you all had a personal connection, too.
Oh, yeah,
Tell me about that a little bit.
He finally found out my name is pronounced Tavier and not Tavier. So, like, it never bothered me. He always used to say Tavier. My grandma called me and my son Tavier, so it was always, it don't matter. But now every time I say Tavier, every time he say Tavier, he be like, "You're not going to correct me?" So I be having to correct him on that. But me and him real close, so I'm just happy with the relationship we do have.
When did you find that out, and what was that interaction?
So it was me and Coach Joe, the safeties coach. He came up to me like, "Your name Tavier or Tavier? Because I hear you call your son Tavi." I'm like, "Tavier." He like, "Why you don't say nothing?" I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's the same thing to me. And then ever since that day, Lovey came up to me, Tavier. And then he just went from there. So now everybody is saying it.
I feel like you knocked off some rust. Obviously, you missed some time getting back in your instincts going in.
Oh, yeah, I knocked off a lot of rust. I ain't tackled nobody since last year. So to get a tackle out there, I was hype. I was having fun. So I'm mad about we didn't get the win, but I'm just happy I can be back out there try to help us win.
You're going up against a really good back in Saquon Barkley this week. Will you all be able to use some of the things that you've seen from the past from some of the other running backs that you all have faced this year when you get ready to prepare for him?
Oh, yeah, he's one of the best in the league, so everybody just got to do their jobs. Just stay in your gaps, and everybody run to the football. When you run to the football, good things happen. So we didn't face a lot of great backs, like probably the top 3 in the league so far outside of Nick Chubb. So I feel like we battle-tested for it, so now we just got to go out there and execute.
From a defensive back standpoint, is it harder to prepare for someone who's that explosive as a runner, but can also catch out the backfield?
I just read my keys and just go out there and just play. So if he come my way, I'm just trying to make the tackle, and I think the other guy's going to do the same thing at DB.
Like you mentioned, you being one of the better players out there. What do you feel like this defense was missing in you, or what do you feel like you can add?
Just physicality and just run to the ball. Just no loafs. Just run to the ball, be all over the field, and just play physical. And when other guys see you doing that, they want to do it. So hopefully that light a spark for everybody else, and we just go from there and get these wins. It was terrible. It was terrible, but Lovey and the coaching staff and trainers, they got me right, and they kept me involved with the team. Like, I was always on the sideline helping out as much as I can. So they kept me involved. I wasn't at home while the game was playing, so I was happy about that. So it felt like I wasn't out there physically, but I was out there mentally on the sideline. So
like, whenever you read, do you have the option of being home, and then you were choosing to be here? I mean, what was kind of how you were?
I thought I could, because some of the guys I was on IR, they were at home, but Lovey like, "No, you're going to the game. You're a part of this thing, so you got to be there." So I was just there, and I was just happy to be there, and I'm happy I could help. Like Dez been playing really well, so I was helping him. He was helping me. I was learning stuff mentally, so I'm just happy I was about.
How much did you approach being a part of it, like at games, even though you weren't playing? Like, what would you do throughout a game?
Just really talk to the guys, like when I'm seeing stuff on the sideline, because the coaches there all the way high up in the press box or whatever. So just helping them, like if I see like certain formations or stuff, because I'm still watching film. So once I was seeing certain formations, be on the sideline screaming, "Dad, charge," and then he'd be on the charge getting PBUs. So it's like I was mad I wasn't out there, but at the same time, I learned a lot while being out.
Go ahead, Mark.
Okay. Did you have a chance to see or hear the Astros parade yesterday, or see it?
I seen it. I was at the game, so I seen it firsthand when they won it. So I was happy about that. That was my first game being a part of something like that, and they actually won. So shout out to them.
From a defensive standpoint, what do you think that you all need to do to get this thing turned around?
I feel like we just need to finish. Like, we start games strong. We start fast. Like, Lovey Preacher start fast and finish. But I feel like we're starting fast, but we got to finish. And when we go to that second half, it's about just doing your job. Like, the first half, we're doing our job a lot cleaner than the second half. So if we just continue to just do our jobs and just really do your job, stay in your gaps, and read your keys and run to the football, I feel like we'll get over the hump.
Lovie says that he spends a lot of time with the nickels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is he doing that again this year? And I mean, with the defense, can you explain a bit how your role in that spot helps out the run defense specifically?
Yeah, he be with us a lot, but we have Coach Alear now. So Coach Alear, he's been with Lovie for the longest in Illinois or whatnot, so he knows exactly what Lovie wants. So what I can say about me and Dez, like, with us being a nickel, like, you got to have a nickel that want to be in the run gaps. And I feel like with us two, we'll get that job done because we can be in the run fit and we can cover slot receiver. So I feel like if we just continue to just read our keys and play fast, I feel like we'll make a lot of plays. And Dez been making a lot of plays so far. So hopefully I just come in and do the exact same thing.
Is there one play in particular that you recall being on the sideline, you seen something on the field and you told Dez or anybody else?
So, like, 2-minute drives, I knew that who was playing Jacksonville. Who was playing Jacksonville, I knew in 2 minutes they run a lot of Charger and Viking routes. And teams think we're going to be in cover 2 a lot. So we were actually in cover 2, and I seen the formation. It was the play I called a pick on versus the Charger. It was Oakland route or Viking. And I was on the sideline screaming, Charger, Charger, Charger. And Dez, I guess he heard me, and he seen the dig come, and he had a PBU. So I was happy about that. So hopefully I incorporate that when I'm back out there on the field.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Passing game, he does feel like he's click a little more for the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, like I've always been saying these last few weeks, for us, I feel like we have the connection and chemistry that we showed in practice in the first half of the game. It's just about carrying over to the second half and executing and just finishing games, really.
What was I guess the biggest thing for you all in kind of preparing for Brad and Rico being out at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of pros in the receiver room, so we, like you said, we didn't know what the situation was going to be, and it's just a business of the NFL. So we all just prepared for us to all be ready to go, ready to play every position. So between me, Phil, Jalen Camp, and Ty, we all just were just studying the plays, learning the whole playbook as much as we can, just to be ready for anything.
You've been a part of a lot of offenses, different coaches. With Pep, how have you seen like his approach to? I mean, obviously there's a large range of routes, but it seems like the short game is something that you guys are focusing on. Where do you see him attack that more in comparison to other coaches you've been a part of?
I mean, I don't think it's too much different. Like you said, I've been in a bunch of different offices, and pretty much the NFL, no coaches invent anything new. I just think that to get Davis going, it's just a way to get him going by throwing the shorter passes, getting quick reads for him to see the defense quick and just get it out. I don't think it has anything special behind it or anything else besides that.
You look at a team like the New York Giants, too, with the record that they have now, and from where they came from, do you see you all being able to do that within the next year or two?
I don't see why not. They're especially them, because watching them, how they won those games, all their games have been close, and it's been like what I've been saying. At the end of the game, they found a way to win, and literally that's the situation where we've been in every week. We just got to find a way for us to win, And so they've done it, and I don't see why we can't do it either.
Chris, when you look at Wink Martindale, their propensity for blitzing, they blitz quite often.
Oh, yeah.
Are there opportunities when a team will bring that much pressure to possibly do a quick hit play?
Definitely. I mean, we just got to execute what Pep calls out there. I played with Wing back in Baltimore, so I'm familiar with the system a little bit, but it's a very exotic system. He got a lot of different blitzes, a lot of different coverages, so it's really about us recognizing it and picking it up as best we can, and just Davis getting the ball out on a good read.
What do you think it's going to take for you all to turn this season around?
Like I've been saying, it's just at the end of the game, we got to find a way to win. We've been in a lot of games where it could have went our way, and we failed to execute, failed to make that play to turn it our way. So, I mean, that's really all it takes. We're there in the third and fourth quarter almost every game, and we just got to find a way to win.
You mentioned being able to look at defense, recognize whenever they're blitzing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to, I mean, even giving Davis quick options, like how much is that on y'all to kind of make quick decisions based on what you see? Because it seems like that would be difficult.
Oh yeah, it's on us too. I mean, I feel like just film study, us getting out there, seeing defenses, understanding, especially when a defense like this blitzes a lot, us getting our eyes around for him, maybe adjusting our route a little quicker, just so he just has the confidence that we're on the same page. Like we see the same defense, we're seeing the same thing, and just breaking those routes off a little quicker for him so he can get open.
The way that you can, I know you can't tell everything, but like just to help me understand, like what are you looking for?
So me personally, I play more in the slot, so I'm looking for different safety or nickel pressures. And when I see that, and you could feel it. Like you could feel all the defense just, for some reason, there's nobody there where they're supposed to be, usually in like a zone coverage. So you feel something like that, and you just try to get your eyes around quicker. Maybe en route, just look back and see if he's ready, and if he's not, just continue finishing your route.
I know the position that you play, you want to catch a lot of passes. You want to be involved in the passing game. Mm-hmm. But what does it also mean to be able to have a running back like Dameon Pierce, who is like he's right there in the top 5 of top NFL rushes, and you're out there being able to block for him and help him get those additional yards?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. He's an amazing, exciting player to watch on the field. Just being able to block for him, you definitely got to stay on your blocks with him because he's not going down with the first few tackles. So as a receiver, especially because I'm more inside, I'm more at the point of attack, I know I got to finish my blocks to sustain them longer for him because he's going to go out there and make a big play for us.
So, I mean, all those things coming together, it seems like all of y'all are seeing your own things, communicating. Where's kind of like the central part of that during a game where you're able to like fuse those things together? Because it seems like a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't start from the game. It's in the practice in the week. When we're watching film together and we're doing scout team looks in practice, is us seeing and feeling the same thing, and then communicating throughout the week that, okay, if we see and feel this is what we're going to do, so that when it comes in the game, it's not like we're trying to adjust on the fly. It should have already been addressed and taken care of throughout the week.
Up to the NFL trade deadline, there was a lot of rumors and speculations about what was going to happen with Brandon Cooks. But from a player standpoint, from a locker room standpoint, can you just talk about how important he is in that locker room for you all as far as the receivers are concerned?
Yeah, he's our leader in our receiver room, so it's very important. We love him. He's a great player. He's a great leader. He's a great man. So just when all that stuff happened, we all know, like, or at least most of us, because we've been here for a while, that's just part of the business, so you never know really what's going to happen. And either way, it's just we're happy to have him back and see him in the building.
Last one. I think with part of the business, too, is like you guys have been rotating receivers a lot, just roster-wise, last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Back to that communication part, guys like Tyron Johnson that come in, other guys that come in.
Yeah.
How do y'all approach getting them up to speed with what y'all were talking about and in games? Because it seems like the roles grow over the weeks.
Yeah, first off, Ben does a really good job of preparing us. Our receiver coach, he makes sure that we're a group that knows our job and knows everybody else's job, so that when he is out there, I can help him, Phil can help him, anybody that's been in the system can help him get along, just in case he does. Because, I mean, to learn an NFL playbook in a week or two is insane, and it's a big ask for him. So if any of us can help him in any way, that's what we try to do on the field.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
does that create opportunities, and what are some of the sort of the
We've already, mentioned that as an offense, how they can send so many different things with their defenses, their blitzes, disguise their defenses, getting so many different types of personnel. So it's something we got to be ready for, and I'm pretty sure Coach is going to put us in the right position to be the best we can be and make good plays.
From an offensive lineman standpoint, what is it like to block for Dameon Pierce?
Man, he make our job easy. You know what I'm saying? We know he might make a few cats miss, but man, we get a hat on the hat. He's gonna find a hole and make a big positive play, strong run, and that's what we look forward to him now. He's been putting it out there.
Over the course of the year, seeing blitzes versus just seeing straight defenses, how do you feel like y'all have handled both, and which do y'all feel like you needed more growth in?
I feel like there's always, room for improvement, but, I feel like some blitzes are easy to see, when guys send like one single linebacker, we got the extra man, the running back. But it can get complicated when guys send a couple of guys from the weak side or away from the strong side that blitz that we don't see, we got to try to scramble to pick up. Of course, the defense is going to make adjustments that they might get one here or there, but it's still something we got to be able to protect the quarterback and get better at.
What do you think that you all need to do in order to turn the season around?
I know you guys are tired of hearing it. I know, we preach it a lot. We have a chance to win so many games. We put ourselves in positions. So I think us offensively, defensively, we got to finish it. And I guess as a team, because, they get a turnover in a good area of the field, we got to capitalize on it. I know the game is old. Last Thursday, we end up getting a turnover. They capitalize on it. So we got to be able to, good teams capitalize on things like that, and we got to get better on capitalizing when we get the ball and scoring position.
With your tenure in the league, you've worked with Warhop a lot. I mean, are there things that you're seeing, especially with Martindale this week, or do you see like, okay, I recognize this, or are there things that are popping up to y'all like, oh, we haven't seen this before? I mean,
oh yeah, there's going to be things that you see. If you've been playing for a while, you see a certain defense or a linebacker doing this, you kind of can sniff out or figure out what's coming. Especially, you got a coach like Hop who's been in the game for a while. He's probably seen it all. If he hasn't, I don't know. I think he has. But he can get us on the right track. He's very detailed. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to tell us everything that they have up front that they're going to deliver. And that's the kind of coach he is.
AJ Questenberry, after the last game, said that he felt like the run game was able to be pretty successful because it was a front that they'd seen before, that you guys had seen before. I think you mentioned the Chargers and the Bears.
Yeah.
He said that he thought the Giants would be pretty similar this week, too. Is that what you've observed in watching film preparing?
Yeah, they run a similar front that we've seen before, but once again, like I mentioned, they can get into different types of personnel. They can be very unique with the stuff they do, so we just got to be prepared for anything and more.
Levy talked about naming Laramie team captain last week. What have been your impressions of Laramie, and what's impressed you about him?
First and foremost, he don't change. Laramie is going to be Laramie. That's what we like about him. He don't change. He's going to come in. He's quiet, but he's going to work. And I think that's the part that puts him in that leadership role, is that he coming to work every day, and that's what we respect about Laramie.
What is it going to mean to be able to get Brandon Cooks back into the locker room and back on the field?
A lot. He's one of our biggest playmakers, if not the biggest. When because get the ball in his hands, anything can happen, and we miss him out there, and that's somebody that we're excited to have back in this offensive unit.
So you mentioned the personnel mixing. I'm curious from like your time too. Are you noticing a change in the type of body that's in front of you? I mean, like how they're changing that around. What's your perspective?
Defenses do that when it's with passing situations. They put smaller guys up there who tend to move faster, move quicker. And when it's obvious rundown situation, first or second, they get the bigger bodies in to try to stop the run. Defenses, kind of been doing that for a while now. And as an offensive line, you notice that, you prepare for all of it, and we study all of it. So defenses switch up a lot, yeah.
Have you had to adapt yourself towards that?
You got to be prepared for that. That's part of the game throughout the week. We're looking at their rundowns and how they play the run, and then we study third down and their blitz packages. You got to see the other bodies that come in there on third down. You got to be prepared for it.
You're in the midst of a couple more guys. You all are in the midst of a rebuilding situation here, and you're going up against a team that went through a similar situation, and now they have the record that they have. And is that something that you all look forward to, seeing that team on the other side being where they are right now?
That happens every day in this league. You get a team who's trying to figure it out and put pieces together, and the next thing you know, boom, they're making plays, they're winning. People don't expect it, and now look where they're at. So teams go through a couple bumps in the road, and obviously we've hit a few this year, but that ain't gonna stop us from getting better and trying to compete and trying to finish.
Just to understand, because I think that's interesting. So if you're looking at who's in front of you versus like if it's like a hybrid guy or a straight defensive tackle, like are you balancing different blocking techniques based on what you're getting? I mean, what's that kind of pre-snap and post-snap?
Yeah, you think about all those kind of things, but it's got to be quick because you don't want to be out there thinking too much. When it's obviously when we know it's third down, boom, your mind and your body gotta adjust to what's coming up. When it's first and second down, you're like, okay, boom, we got bigger bodies in. I got to be able to do this and do that. So yeah, it comes with different bodies and different players. It comes a different mindset in the way you approach the defender.
And if it's a stunt or something that someone else comes at differently, you got to
be prepared for that too. Yep.
Last one. When you, of course, the Houston Astros won the World Series. When you look at it from the outside looking in, playing for the Houston Texans, being also a professional athlete, seeing the way the city responded to them, is that just something that you all look at and say that's what we want?
Of course, man. This is my first time being in the city with multiple professional teams, and it's pretty cool to be in a city where a team is consistently putting themselves in those positions and winning it, and it kind of like gives you a boost of morale. Like let's get it going, man. These guys turn on for the city. We got to do the same thing. Of course.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Appreciate you.